So as I sit here trying to film, it occurs to me that as much as I like watching Get Ready With Me's, I don't really know how to start one. So I think I'm probably just gonna get into the makeup, have a little chat. I did ask for a few sort of talking points a little while ago, and I have a few bits and pieces to say, and then also just generic chatting. I think that's all I needed to say. I've got my priming and my eyebrows done already just because they're kind of boring and tedious. And when I'm doing my eyebrows, I have to like lean into my mirror. So I thought, just get them out of the way first. But yeah, let's just move into the makeup, I guess. So when I asked for talking points, one of the responses I got was from my best friend, Steph. And she was like, she actually told me to spill the tea, fam. And I was like, I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, I know what spill the tea means. But I was like, I don't know what tea. And she was like, what did she say? She was like, any tea that you want. And I was like, but I don't have any tea. Like, I don't have anything to spill. I'm not involved in anything like that. So I thought instead, the closest thing I have to like tea is I was like, oh, I'll talk about my unpopular like makeup opinions. Where did my sponge go? It's right here. So that's what I'm gonna do instead. Sort of throughout the video, I'll keep popping up with unpopular opinions. My first one, I guess, is, I did my eyebrows already, but this idea of like arched brows as like the brow shape. Like, I don't really know if this is an unpopular opinion. Maybe it's not, maybe I just don't pay enough attention. That's entirely possible. But this idea of like eyebrows being arched, like even back in the day of like pencil thin brows, they were all arched, and then on like Instagram and everything, they've always got that like perfect like carved out little arch and everything. But like lots of people's eyebrows don't naturally do that. Mine don't. And like I can draw them in well enough, and I do sometimes. But lately I've been drawing my eyebrows in quite straight. There is obviously still a little bit of a curve because of my brow bone and everything. But overall, they're a lot straighter than they are arched. And I really like it. So I don't really understand why there's this idea of, you know, arched brows as the brow shape, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I said, entirely possible that's not an unpopular opinion, and I just don't know what's up. Because there probably are lots of different brow styles, but I would say that like the one that you see most of the time is one with a really high arch. So like I said, I'm just going to sort of bring up unpopular opinions throughout the whole video, like as I'm at different steps in my makeup. But the other thing that I got asked to talk about, because I only got 2 responses, was my favorite books and movies and music. Actually, now that I'm saying that, I can't remember if I was asked to talk about music or not, but I am going to talk about music because I've already written it down. So my favorite book in terms of like, I don't know, I guess nostalgia and like how much it means to me personally, definitely Harry Potter, because I'm basic. I just loved those books, and I loved reading them, and they meant a lot to me, and they were part of what inspired me to like get into writing. And you know, they're always going to be important to me for that reason, even if I've kind of outgrown them now. And I'm much more aware of the sort of flaws in the writing. I'm doing this because it helps just blend around the nose so it doesn't get so cakey. yeah, so yeah, in terms of that, definitely my favorite. And I think the Harry Potter fandom is like so diverse and has so much like to offer that in that sense I do still really like it. But I tried to go back and like reread the books a little while ago. I guess it was a couple years ago now. And there were parts of it that I really enjoyed going back and rereading it, but it's mostly because I live in England now. So they were talking about all these different places and I was like, hey, I've been there, or hey, I know what that means, or I know what Guy Fawkes Night is, or you know, I know what they mean by treacle tart, and I know what they mean by this and that and the rest of it. So it was interesting for that, in that respect. But it also just sort of going back to it with fresh eyes after I hadn't read it in a really long time. It did just kind of remind me of, not remind me, that's not the right word. I guess just became more aware of the flaws in the book, I guess. Yeah, so that was just sort of an interesting little wake-up call for me. I guess, this sense of that, this book that had been so important to me for so long. I mean, still important to me, but wasn't actually as good as I remembered it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a children's book, so it doesn't have to be like the best written thing ever. But I think because it is so acclaimed and so popular, you can kind of misremember things and think that it was a lot better written and had less plot holes and whatever than it did. So I read Ender's Game for the first time. I was like 12 or 13, I think. And my dad had handed me like a stack of science fiction books, and that was one of them. And then I went on and I read the next 3 books in the series. And oh man, did I cry. And I cried and I cried and I cried. And then I genuinely loved it. I fell in love with the world and the story, and Ender is so good, and so on. And then eventually I went and I read the Ender's Shadow saga, which is about one of the secondary characters, and that's another 4 books. And I, again, just loved it. I think, I don't know, it was weird because I read it and then I sort of was like, about it, and then I reread it because I went and did a big reread of the series because, like I said, I love Ender's Game. And then when I reread the Ender's Shadow saga a little bit older and a little bit like just different, and I reread it then and I actually really loved it and really enjoyed a lot more of it than I thought I did. And maybe it was just because I'm reading it in a different perspective. But yeah, that's probably my all-time, could reread it whenever, absolutely love it book series. Some of my favorites that I've read semi-recently, I'm going to do bronzer now. I don't know if you're supposed to talk about what makeup I'm doing when I'm doing what I'm doing to chat here with me. I think I am. My favorites I've read recently are The Raven Cycle is bomb. I recently read Renegades by Marissa Meyer, which is also good. I really like superheroes, and I picked it up because I'm writing a book about superheroes currently, and I was like, ooh, I should read that and see what it's like, and it's really enjoyable and very different from the superhero stuff that I'm writing, which was kind of nice, kind of relieving. I don't know, I used to be such a big reader. I used to read like a new book every week. And in the past couple years, I've really struggled to do that all of a sudden, and it's kind of sad. So my next unpopular opinion is about makeup brushes. I don't know, but for me, I've always just been like, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. Like, I used that little concealer brush to apply my foundation all over my face, and then blend it out with a sponge, obviously. And I've used, you know, blusher brushes for bronzer, and I've used bronzer blushes for blusher, and I've used angled brushes to do my powder, and you know, like I don't care. Mostly is what that boils down to. And I don't care. I'm just kind of like, it's cool, you do you, but me, ooh. I always take a little bit of the blush to the bridge of my nose as well, just because I feel like it makes it look a little bit more natural. And so much of this does not look natural, that I feel. We'll just do that a little bit as well. was smooth. It probably wasn't though, knowing my editing skills. So I decided to just do like a little halo eye. Just very neutral color with a little bit of red and gold. Kind of wish I did something colorful, but I feel like neutrals are more what people associate with like glam makeup. So I'll have to do another one of these where I do something super colorful, because I really like colorful makeup. It's kind of like my thing, but I haven't really done anything with a lot of color in a while. So yeah, if you'd like to see a more colorful get ready with me, give me a shout. I'll do it because it's fun. This does bring me in to unpopular opinion number 3 though, which is I don't see the difference between an eye base and a concealer. Maybe at some point in the undetermined future, I will try an eye base and it will just change my life. I don't see that happening though. So I always prime my eyes with just a thick concealer. I use the NYX Full Coverage Concealer, and it does the job. I was at when I did my course, my makeup course, one of the artists who we worked with said the same. It was sort of just like there's hardly ever a noticeable enough difference that you need an eye base. And I was like, cool. I'm not gonna spend the money on it then. Like I said, at some point I probably will try an eye base just to see for myself if there's a difference. But honestly, I think as long as your base is a little bit sticky. I never set my eye base, by the way. I just blend it to be smooth with a fluffy brush, the same one I used to blend around my nose. Anyway, yeah, that's my unpopular opinion. Like, I do want to try the P. Louise base just to see if it's any good, because people rave about it. But I do want to sort of do a test and see how it compares to how I normally do my makeup, if I feel like it makes a difference, or if it doesn't, you know. Either way, I just kind of want to know. Yeah. So the other thing that I was going to talk about was my favorite music, because that was one of the things that I got asked about. So as you can tell, I've been wearing headphones this whole time, and the reason that I do that is because I don't really do well with silence. And I know that this whole time I've like been talking, so it probably would have been fine without without having music playing, but it does just make it a little bit easier. So I'm not talking like non-stop, and I can actually edit this a little bit if I need to have the music playing as well. So in most of my makeup videos, probably all of them, I don't really remember off the top of my head though, I am wearing headphones in them and listening to music and just having a time. Today I'm listening to Marian's Trench, Ever After, the album. It's my favorite, honestly. Marian's Trench is probably one of my favorite bands. And Ever After is, in my opinion, their best album. That's not right. It's just so good, and I've been listening to it the whole time I've been doing my makeup. My other favorite band is Imagine Dragons, who they're probably my favorite. Like, I think Marian's Trench is one of my favorites. I think Imagine Dragons is my favorite. I've been to see them twice, and both times were amazing. So, yeah. Some of my other favorite music, I'll put some pictures here actually of some of the stuff that I've been listening to. I'll pull it up as well so I can actually see it. Some of the random songs that I've been listening to. Runaway Kids by Harbor is bomb. It is really up there. I heard it in a Best Dressed video a little while ago, and it was just so fun and so upbeat that I was like, this is really fun, and I need to have this in my life. So I added it to my Spotify library, and I've already listened to it way more times than is probably normal. as I said already, Imagine Dragons. I've been listening to Born to Be Yours a lot. That one I remember listening to it when it came out. I listened to it like once or twice when it came out, and then kind of forgot about it. I know I've just said they're like my favorite band. Yeah, but I just sort of forgot about that particular song because I was listening more to Evolve. I listened to Evolve, like the album, like 17,000 times. So I just sort of forgot about that song. And then it came on at work the other day and I was sort of singing along and I was like, hey, wait, hold up. I know this one. So I've been listening to that as well. Crush by Tessa Violet, that came out a little while ago and I loved it then, and then I was making a playlist of like kind of upbeat songs that were still just kind of chill to listen to, and so I threw that on there as well. It's real good. And then what else? Oh, this is another one. It showed up in my Discover Weekly on Spotify like forever ago. It's called Hands Down Olivia, and it's just another one of those ones that's just really fun to listen to and really like just makes you want to dance. If You're Me. It's the wrong palette, that's why. I need to switch palettes now. This is Unpopular Brush Opinions Part 2. It's sort of eye brushes. What is a crease brush? What is the difference between a crease brush and a fluffy brush? What is the difference between a packing brush and like this one? Is this a packing brush? I don't know, but I'm using it to pack pigment on. I don't really pay attention to what brushes are for what, and I just sort of put things on my eyes and hope for the best. Same again, if it works, it works. I'm not too fussed. What else can I talk about? I've covered music, I've covered books, I've talked a little bit about my unpopular opinions. Oh, I need to shout out Courtney because she told me that if I were to, like, she was the one who first said, do a chat get ready with me, and she said specifically, and talk about me in it. So I'm going to shout her out real quick. We worked together and we were, and I think she's great, she's awesome. And yesterday we were doing delivery stuff together and we took a little break and she got some really cool, like, unique pictures of me. I'll put them here. I think they're going up on Instagram. I think they went up yesterday if you're watching this video. I think they're going up today, but you'll be watching this video tomorrow. So I think they've just gone up tomorrow, yesterday rather. So I'll put one of the pictures here, and then if you want to see more of them, you can check my Instagram post and follow me on Instagram. Yeah, I think she's really great, and we get on really well, and it's just nice. It just is nice. I'll switch palettes again. Honestly, I when it comes to palettes, I could not tell you even what I would have in my dream palette because I'm just, or what my go-to palette is rather, because I'm just constantly switching palettes, and I don't mind doing that personally. I know some people do, and they're like, I'm gonna do this look using just this singular palette, and or this palette has all the colors you'll ever need, and you know, that's cool. Like, fair play to you if you have a palette that you're like, this has everything I need and it's perfect for me. Like, great, I'm super happy for you. But I personally don't mind just swapping between palettes. So I don't have a go-to palette. I think when it comes to colorful looks, my go-to is probably that's just a mirror giving me some weird lighting. My go-to is probably the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, is that what it's called? I thought it was called the Vivid Brights palette for so long, but that's not actually what it's called. But now I have no idea what it actually is called. But yeah, that's probably my go-to when it comes to colorful looks, but it's also my only palette that I have that is like just full of color. Like, I don't have any other yellow, I don't have any other anything like that. So it's probably my favorite. I also really want to try the Certified Tropical Wonders palette, and I will soonish. I've asked for it for my birthday / Christmas though, so if I don't get it, like, hopefully I'll get it for one of them, but if not, I'll order it probably in the new year to play with. Yeah, so my birthday is the 16th of October. And then, sorry, I'm gonna lean in while I'm doing this glitter because I don't want to mess it up. So the angle's gonna be a bit funny, sorry. So my birthday is October 16th, and then Christmas is it's quite a while after that. Some people are like, that's for ages away. But my mom likes to do all the Christmas shopping in November, so that when December hits, she can just kind of like chill and enjoy the Christmas season, which I think is smart, and I'll probably do the same when I'm grown. Why does this not look even? I think it's just the lighting and the fact that I've not done my lower lash line, but it just is really throwing me off. Yeah, so when I ask for something for putting something on my birthday list, I then can't buy anything off that list until after Christmas as well, because she sort of just wants us to combine our lists, which is fine. But it does just mean that I put that on my birthday list. So now if I don't get it for my birthday, then I have to wait until the new year, because I might get it for Christmas. Which again, I don't mind doing. It just means that playing with that particular palette, I can never find where I put my brushes. It just means playing with that particular palette could be quite a while away, but I definitely do want to play with that one. Like I said, I really, really like colorful makeup, and I'll do just all sorts of crazy things with it. I genuinely can't remember if I've spoken about how I will just wear like all of these looks out of the house. Because I will. Literally anything I put my eye, I'll wear out of the house. Also, I do not have sensitive eyes in this sense, so that's why I'm just packing powder into my waterline rather than getting like a pencil. It just works for me, and it blends nicely. There you go. Yeah, I guess just mascara now. Here's my final, probably unpopular opinion. And mostly it stems from a bitterness, if I'm being honest. Literally everyone wears false lashes all the time. And I don't think it's like necessary. I saw someone point out a while ago, like, lashes just complete a look, they elevate a look, all this. And I'm like, that's probably true in some situations, but I feel like a lot of people, and this is not like shade, this is nothing. I do feel like sometimes people rely on lashes, and I don't think that should be the case. Honestly, if I could wear lashes, I absolutely would, and I did for a long time, and then I developed an allergy to lash glue, so now I can't wear them. And that's probably where this opinion kind of stems from, is just that I'm a little bit bitter that I can't wear cool funky lashes that, you know, change the way a look is presented. But I don't think that they are necessary, or even that they should be included in every look. I think the fact that I can't wear them has kind of opened my eyes to that a little bit, because I was wearing them every day, and I don't think every look needs them or will benefit from them. And I don't know, just an opinion that I have, which I think is this is probably the only one that's like actually definitely unpopular, in the sense of like everyone loves false lashes. Anyway, I don't actually have a lip product over here, and honestly I'm probably just gonna put on some lip balm, so I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm just heading into work. I got to leave in like 15 minutes, so I'm gonna just call it a day now. Thank you for watching, thank you for chatting with me. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I said. Comment down below. And like I said, like, I'll link my socials. I said about my Instagram if you want to see some of the stuff over there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Just dropped a brush down the radiator.